and I welcome you to this session. I now would like to invite a very senior academic. I'm told that he was with the IIM Gaya earlier. Now he is with the very well-known research institute founded by one of my very dear former students. Unfortunately, there is no more. Dr. Sudhanshu Kumar. Please come and grace the dais. Thank you. Second, I now invite Professor Dr. Satyendra Prajapati ji, Most Honorable Principal, Jagjiwan College, Gaya. Professor Prajapati, welcome. Thank you. Then I invite Dr. Sudeep Shreshtha, Senior Lecturer, Department of Economics, Tribhuvan University. I have been broadly in touch and for which I have great respect. Please, Mr. Shreshtha. I hope there is no hope, right? Sir, it will be pressed just in time because I am a ruthless chair when it comes to doing that. Don't mind my words because the president has a very painful task. Understand? तो ऐसा है कि 40 मिनट में 3 है तो मैं समझता हूँ 10 मिनट मैक्सिमम 30 मिनट्स आपके लिए बच जाता है another 10 minutes तो उसमें 7-8 मिनट इंटरैक्शन के लिए और 1-2 मिनट तो फिर अपनी बात तो मैं कर चुका हूँ लेकिन ऐसा है कि मेरा सिस्टम ये है कि जब एक प्रेजेंटेशन हो जाएगा तो हम लास्ट में क्वेश्चंस नहीं लेते दिस इज माय तो हम उसी वक्त को लोग भूल जाते हैं कुछ लोगों को बीच में चला भी जाना रहता है तो without losing time topic is well known I request Dr. Sudhanshu to have his presentation next to 10 minutes not more than 10 minutes. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon. This is the session, in post-lunch session, and then such a brilliant session that we have seen. तो इसके बाद अब उम्मीद है कि लोगों को नींद नहीं आ रही होगी लेकिन क्योंकि जो थ्योरेटिकल कंस्ट्रक्ट की चर्चा हुई है उसके संदर्भ में हम अपने किए हुए रिसर्च से कुछ हिस्से को जोड़ना चाहेंगे उस चीज़ों में और इसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो सेटिंग कॉन्टेक्स्ट जैसे हम लोग देखते हैं सुबह से चर्चा भी हो रही है सोशल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स की चर्चा हुई है और सोशल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स जो अभी जिस दौर में हम लोग हैं उसमें 17 है और उसके भीतर में बहुत सारे टारगेट्स हैं तो जैसा अगर हम सोच पाएंगे तो दीज कंस्ट्रक्ट्स आर ग्लोबल टारगेट्स तो सारे विश्व भर में लोगों ने विचार करके इस कंस्ट्रक्ट को बनाया है लेकिन जब हम लोकल लेवल पे इसको देखते हैं तो उनके चैलेंजेस क्या क्या हो सकते हैं तो आज जो हम बात करेंगे लोकल चैलेंजेस इन अचीविंग ग्लोबल गोल्स अंडर द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स The context behind this kind of study was I was at IIM Bodh as a faculty, and this place was located between Magadha University where this session is being organized and this college. And to my surprise, I mean, two things were happening. This institute was located between BEd College in Magadha University, and there is a reason behind mentioning this. This led to the kind of research analysis that we started doing. तो हमने वहाँ देखा कि बीएड कॉलेज में एक अच्छा सा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना हुआ है लेकिन उस बीएड कॉलेज को इन्होंने रेंट आउट कर दिया हुआ है दूसरी बात हम जब वहाँ गए तो हमने ऑब्जर्व किया कि 650 एकड़ के आसपास की जमीन दी गई थी मगर यूनिवर्सिटी को इस यूनिवर्सिटी ने 120 एकड़ ट्रांसफर कर दिया आईएमएम के क्रिएशन तो एक बार अगर शॉक जब आप बाहर से कहीं पढ़ के आते हैं और आप देखते हैं कि आपके राज्य में ऐसा हो रहा है तो ऐसा आखिर क्यों होगा आपके पास 650 एकड़ किसी ने दिया होगा किसी काम करने के लिए दिया होगा फिर जब हम उस यूनिवर्सिटी के चारों ओर राउंड लगा रहे थे तो काफी आगे बनी हुई संरचनाएं थी तो आज हम जब बजट का एनालिसिस करते हैं उसमें कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट क्रिएशन ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑल दोस थिंग्स रिलेटेड टू सोशल सेक्टर इंक्लूडिंग हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन की बात होती है, लेकिन जब मैं वहाँ घूम रहा था तो हमने देखा कि बहुत सारी बिल्डिंग आधी बनी हुई है और इस स्थिति में जिसको फिक्स बनाने की उम्मीद नहीं। फिर कुछ बिल्डिंग्स वहाँ बनी हुई थी जिससे आप लोग रिलेट करेंगे, वो हॉस्टल्स थे। तो ये चीजें हमारे दिमाग में आ रही थी कि हमने जो यूनिवर्सिटी का जो कंसेप्ट बनाया हुआ था, जो हमारे आउटकम जो सोशल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स के ग्लोबल आउटकम्स में रिफ्लेक्ट होते हैं, उनके लोकल चैलेंजेस कहीं न कहीं यहाँ हाउ बिल्ट स्ट्रक्चर्स में रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहे हैं। फिर वहाँ के यूनिवर्सिटी की लाइब्रेरी बहुत अच्छी लाइब्रेरी है। तो ये 11 महीने मैं वहाँ में पढ़ा रहा था। उसके बाद मैं पटना मूव किया, सेंटर फॉर इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी एंड पब्लिक फाइनेंस। देन आई थॉट दैट कि एजुकेशन के लिए लाइब्रेरी का बहुत अधिक महत्व है। इस यूनिवर्सिटी की लाइब्रेरी में मैं प्रवेश नहीं कर पाया और कई लोग करके फिर टाइम ऑफ इंडिया कोलैबोरेशन में हमने देखा कि स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी लाइब्रेरी should be made more accessible if you want to achieve educational outcome towards the student। एल सिन्हा में एक आप जाएंगे तो जयप्रकाश सेक्शन है सबसे ऊपर में, जेपी सेक्शन है सबसे ऊपर में, और जेपी ने अपने सारे बुक्स को डोनेट करके रखा हुआ है। जब वहां हम जाते हैं एक समर्थन, वहां 8 इंच बुक जमी हुई है। So the library where Jagjiwan has donated all his books could not be maintained by the next generation that we are carrying through। तो मेरे दिमाग में और आपके दिमाग में ये क्वेश्चन जरूर आता है कि there are certain goals that are there are economic models to which we want to achieve something। हमें कुछ प्राप्त करना है, हमें कुछ तय करना है, उस पर विवेचना हो सकती है और हुई भी है कि इस मॉडल से हम ये अचीव कर सकते हैं, उस मॉडल से वो अचीव कर सकते हैं। हम लोग इकोनॉमिक्स में पढ़ाते हैं कि ग्रोथ मॉडल से इस मॉडल में ये लिमिटेशन है, इस मॉडल में ये चीजें की जा सकती हैं। लेकिन एक पहलू जो उसमें है, जो ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव जो हम उठा करके ला रहे हैं, उसमें लोकल चैलेंजेस क्या क्या हो सकते हैं और उसको हमने देखने की कोशिश की है बिहार के पर्सपेक्टिव से। अब बिहार स्पेशल क्यों है, तो जब हम देखेंगे थोड़ा सा परिचय आप सब लोग जानते होंगे, तो हम लोग ये देख लेते हैं कि लिविंग कंट्री जो स्टेट्स है उसमें बिहार करेंट कई चीजों में नीचे आता है। लेकिन जब हम गौर करेंगे विद इन स्टेट जो पर कैपिटा इनकम या पर कैपिटा एमएसपी के टर्म में हम देखते हैं बिहार नीचे आता है। गोवा का 9% है, गोवा के पर कैपिटा इनकम का 9% है, एवरेज नेशनल एवरेज का 33% है, और ये मोर और लेस उस हिसाब से बढ़ता हुआ ज्यादा कन्वर्ट करता हुआ नहीं दिखता है। लेकिन इसके बाद अगर विभिन्न स्टेट जब हम जाते हैं तो हम देखते हैं कि पटना का पर कैपिटा इनकम जो 2021 जो हमने डेटा कलेक्ट किया उसमें था 1,15,239 रुपए, 1,15,239। अब आप इसको कंपेयर करिए शिवहर से 18,692। तो पटना का 1,15,239 18,692 शिवहर का हो जाता है, और पटना के बाद नंबर 2 में जो आता है वो बेगूसराय 45,497 है। तो सबसे टॉप और सबसे बॉटम को ही केवल आप देखेंगे। फीचर्स देखिए, इन दो डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स का फीचर क्या है। पटना कैपिटल सिटी है, वहाँ कैपिटल सिटी होने का अटेंशन बहुत सारे इंडिकेटर्स में, जैसे ही आप बिहार में मैप करेंगे और डेटा में आप जैसे ही पटना को निकाल करके रखेंगे, आपके पास जो पिक्चर उभर करके आएगी वो कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट होगा, क्योंकि पटना में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सब नगर में आप मान सकते हैं। लेकिन पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी आप जानते हैं, आप सहमत होंगे आप लोग, जो अर्बन एरिया है वहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी अधिक होती है जनरली। कई सारे इसके कारण हो सकते हैं, उसका अलग से चर्चा होती है और आप सब लोग जानते होंगे। लेकिन पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी आप देखेंगे तो शिवहर का बहुत ज्यादा है, सारे इंडिकेटर्स में सबसे कम है। वहां का पर कैपिटा इनकम कहाँ 18,000 है, कहाँ 1,15,000 है, इन दोनों के बीच में आप देखते हैं बहुत ही अधिक है। और इसका रिफ्लेक्शन आपको जो सोशल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स के इंडिकेटर्स जो आते हैं 2019-20 में आता है और स्टेट सबसे बॉटम में दिखता है, वो इसलिए दिखता है कि मल्टीपल चैलेंजेस एट द लोकल लेवल्स आर देयर व्हिच लीड्स टू द आउटकम। जो आउटकम हमें 2030 के सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के जो टारगेट्स अचीव करने के रखे हुए हैं उनके बीच की बाधा के रूप में दिखती है। तो हम देखेंगे, और इसमें हम लोगों ने कोशिश किया था ये देखने का कि व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट हैज कंट्रीब्यूटेड टुवर्ड नॉट desirable development in those dimensions। अगर स्टेट का पर कैपिटा इनकम आप सब लोग देखे होंगे, जिस तरह की एनालिसिस होती है कि देयर इज अ कांस्टेंट प्राइस पे पर कैपिटा इनकम होता है और एक करेंट प्राइस पे पर कैपिटा इनकम का होता है, और मोस्ट ऑफ द न्यूज़पेपर सारे ने 50,000 54,000 जो करंट प्राइसेस पे है उसको रिपोर्ट किया। तो हम लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट करना भी छोड़ दिया है कि जो इन्फ्लेशन को जब हम एडजस्ट करते हैं तो पर कैपिटा, ये मैं ऐसे नहीं बोल रहा हूँ एज एन एक्टिविस्ट, मैं न्यूज़पेपर कटिंग में हमने ये देखा कि पर कैपिटा इनकम में कांस्टेंट और करंट प्राइस में से किसको कवर किया जा रहा है, तो जो ज्यादा है उसको कवर किया जा रहा है, उस पर थोड़ा ज्यादा दिखते हैं। लेकिन कांस्टेंट प्राइस में जब आप जाते हैं तो 33,000 आपको 20-20 में थे और 20-21 में 31,522 था। एक और ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन इन द स्टेट, गौर करिएगा, जो हमारे साथी स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हुए हैं वो सब लोग, इसका भी एक इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट में अपना एक कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है। वो कंट्रीब्यूशन अगर स्टेट में आप देखेंगे तो आपका करंट प्राइस में 3% के आसपास है, और अगले से 2% के नीचे होता रहा है। स्टेट का और कुछ फीचर अगर देखना हो तो मेल वर्कफोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन रेशियो बिहार का 68.8% है, इंडिया का 77.96%। लेकिन जेंडर गैप इन वेजेस बिहार में इन द कंट्रास्ट किसी को कुछ है क्या? बिहार में अगर आप देखेंगे जेंडर गैप जो है 28% है, whereas at ऑल इंडिया लेवल इट इज 36%। तो there are certain features, कुछ ऐसे फीचर हैं जो बिहार को बाकी जगह से अलग करते हैं, और जिसका रिफ्लेक्शन आपको दिखता है जब आप सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स में आप देखते हैं और पाते हैं कि यह नीचे आता है। 17 गोल्स हैं, 169 टारगेट्स हैं, बहुत सारे कंट्रीज ने इसमें रखा है, और बिहार और झारखंड दो ऐसे स्टेट है जो इनमें नीचे आता है। तो यहाँ पर पॉइंट ये आता है कि अच्छा ठीक है ये चीजें हैं, और जब ऐसा है तो क्यों हम देखें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स के। तो हमने पॉलिसी मेकर्स के साथ जो कुछ दिन काम करने का जो अनुभव जनरेट किया है, उसमें ये होता है कि यू वांट टू ऑपरेट विद इन अ फ्रेमवर्क। तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में अगर बिहार में आप कोशिश करेंगे तो आपको एक फ्रेमवर्क देखने को मिलता है 7 निश्चय 1 और 7 निश्चय 2। तो अगर कोई रिसर्चर हो तो उसमें विवेचना करेंगे और आप पाएंगे कि ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ दी 7 निश्चय जो था वो इन लाइन विद सम ऑफ द जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स हैं उसके आधार पर इसको बनाने की कोशिश की गई है। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप पॉलिसी की चर्चा अगर करेंगे तो जैसे नेशनल लेवल पे जल जीवन मिशन था, जो कि सेफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर के लिए अफोर्डेबल वाटर। तो बिहार में जल जीवन या नल जल योजना, जिसके कई सारे लोगों को बहुत सारी असहमतियां होंगी, नल जल योजना की शुरुआत हुई। अब यहाँ देखिए लोकल चैलेंजेस कैसे आते हैं, जो हमारा बेसिक प्रीमाइस था कि लोकल चैलेंजेस दैट लीड्स टू नॉन अटेनमेंट ऑफ द ग्लोबल गोल्स इन द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स। सो लोकल चैलेंजेस जब जल जीवन नल जल योजना की शुरुआत हुई तो सेफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर दिया जाएगा, रिपोर्ट आई कि आर्सेनिक पानी में बहुत सारे जिले में पाए जाते हैं, तो साफ पानी को। लेकिन उस समय यह नहीं तय किया गया कि इसको मोटर चलाने के बीच में जो बिजली का जो खर्च होगा वो समय से तय करना बहुत जरूरी है। और आपने कुछ दिन पहले ये देखा होगा कि 319 करोड़ का बिजली पेंडिंग है। तो जब वो चीज पेंडिंग हो रहा है तो ये क्या आपको बता रहा है कि लोकल लेवल पे जो चैलेंजेस है दैट आर नॉट गेटिंग एड्रेस्ड। जब हम पंचायत में विजिट कर रहे होते हैं तो ये सेफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर इज पार्ट ऑफ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल। जो भी हमने ऑब्जेक्टिव क्राइटेरिया हमने बनाया है दैट कुड बी रिलेटेड कि ये अच्छा है ये खराब है जो भी है, बट देयर इज अ कंसेंसस कि उसको लेकर के हम एनालिसिस करते हैं। और 2030 तक का हमने टारगेट रखा हुआ है। तो उसमें हम पाएंगे, आप जाएंगे कई जगह मोटर चलाने वाले की सैलरी नहीं मिल रही है, किसी ने इलेक्शन में कोई चुनाव हार गए तो अगला वार्ड मेंबर अपने घर में उस मोटर को लगाया हुआ है। ट्रू स्टोरी जो हमने कैप्चर किया अपनी स्टडीज में। तो वार्ड मेंबर अगर चुनाव हार गया तो अपने मन के हिसाब से उस मोटर को नहीं चलाएगा। नाउ दीज आर द पॉलिसी चैलेंजेस। जब आप इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में जाते हैं एज ए इकोनॉमिक्स रिसर्चर, इट इज ऑलवेज फैसिनेटिंग। अभी एक तो थ्योरेटिकल कंस्ट्रक्ट में आप काम करते हैं, दूसरा होता है कि पॉलिसी मेकर्स की जरूरतों के साथ अलाइन करके क्या हम कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते। उन्होंने एक फ्रेमवर्क डिजाइन किया, जैसे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल का एक पॉलिसी स्टेट ने बनाया। उसमें एक सेंटेंस लिख दिया कि बिहार में अगर इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स मैन्युफैक्चर होंगे तो उन्हें सब्सिडी दी जाएगी। यू ऑल विल एग्री दैट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ द व्हीकल्स आर नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन। So what happened? You are preparing a policy. You just borrowed it from somewhere. वहाँ उसका manufacturing हो रहा था. So these are local challenges which are due to the lack of capacity. जो आप उसको करने के लिए चाहे पॉलिसी लेवल पे जाए या नीचे ग्राउंड लेवल पे आप जाएंगे तो मोटर चलाने वाले नहीं चलाएंगे, बिजली नहीं आएगी। बिजली बिल अगर गवर्नमेंट के रूप से उस फ्रेमवर्क में पहले से अगर नहीं रखा हुआ है तो वो नहीं हो पाएगा। अब हमने क्या किया कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स के एक डेवलपमेंट गोल्स को लेकर के और उसके बीच में हमने एनालाइज करना शुरू किया कि भाई इसके बाद मल्टीपल टारगेट्स हैं और उन टारगेट्स में कहाँ पीछे रह जा रहे हैं, जिसके कारण हर रैंकिंग आती है और ध्यान नीचे की ओर दिखता है। तो उसमें आप देखेंगे कि ऐसे ऐसी चीजें हैं जैसे मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी इंडेक्स की चर्चा हुई। अगेन मेथोडोलॉजी पे हम सहमत असहमत हो सकते हैं, लेकिन मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी इंडेक्स जब आती है तो टारगेट होता है, टारगेट 2030 का जो टारगेट है 13.95% है, लेकिन बिहार का अभी देखेंगे तो 52.80 है और नेशनल एवरेज 27.90। तो जब हम इस स्टेज में हैं, हम सारे एनालिसिस जो 2030 के बीच में कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हम इस कंक्लूजन पर नहीं पहुंच सकते हैं कि देयर आर सर्टेन लोकल चैलेंजेस जो कि हमको उसको अचीव करने में अवरोध पैदा कर रहे हैं। चैलेंजेस किस तरह के हो सकते हैं? तो पॉपुलर डिस्कोर्स में कई बारी बातें आती हैं कि एक जो है गवर्नमेंट के पास फिजिकल रिसोर्सेज नहीं है। एक वो चीजें बार बार आती है कि हमारे पास वो फिजिकल रिसोर्सेज नहीं है जिसके कारण हम नहीं कर सकते हैं। लेकिन वहां पे काउंटर क्वेश्चन ये होता है कि जहां आपके पास फिजिकल रिसोर्सेज था, जहां आपने जैसे सोशल सेक्टर एक्सपेंडिचर को आप देखेंगे तो पर कैपिटा एक्सपेंडिचर इन टोटल बजट में सिर्फ सोशल सेक्टर एक्सपेंडिचर जिसमें हेल्थ और एजुकेशन आता है शेयर बहुत ज्यादा रहा है तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के बजट में। पर कैपिटा एक्सपेंडिचर ठीक ठाक है। अगर आपको नंबर बताएंगे तो आप कहेंगे इतना दे ही तो हर आदमी को बेहतर शिक्षा मिलेगा, बेहतर हेल्थ मिलेगा। तो व्हाट इट ट्रांसलेट्स? इट ट्रांसलेट्स दैट द मनी व्हाटएवर मनी इज देयर दैट नीड्स टू बी better utilized than whatever you have. The framework and that is getting reflected in the outcome. अब underweight children, anemic pregnant women ये सब है, समय अभाव के कारण हम इन नंबर्स को छोड़ देते हैं। एक एसडीजी गोल 4 आता है जिसमें क्वालिटी एजुकेशन की बात आती है। Quality education, certainly, if you don't provide quality education to a generation, teachers will come from that generation, and sequentially you are affecting generation after the generation. आप एक जनरेशन में क्वालिटी एजुकेशन नहीं इंश्योर करते हैं तो अगले जनरेशन के लिए उसी में से शिक्षक उपलब्ध होते हैं और फिर अगले जनरेशन तक उसकी पुनरावृत्ति होती रहती है और ये चीजें दिखती हैं। असर की रिपोर्ट आती है, हमारी अपनी सीमाएं हैं, आपकी अपनी सीमाएं हैं जिसमें आप नहीं कह सकते हैं, लेकिन असर की रिपोर्ट आती है तो लर्निंग आउटकम में कम होता दिखता है। और जब हम गाँव में विजिट करते हैं तो लोगों से पूछते हैं आप बच्चे को कहाँ पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, या गया में हो या कहीं भी हो, या किसी का भी क्वेश्चन पूछिए कि हमसे ही पूछिए कि क्या आप फिर वापस जाकर के क्या मगध यूनिवर्सिटी में आप ग्रेजुएशन करना पसंद करेंगे, तो हमारा फर्स्ट चॉइस नहीं होगा। और ये नहीं होगा इसलिए हो रहा है कि हम क्वालिटी एजुकेशन को डिलीवर करने में सफल शायद नहीं हो रहा है और ये लोकल चैलेंज है। बिल्डिंग्स आर देयर, सब चीज है, लाइब्रेरी है, ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन की फैसिलिटीज है, जितने पैसे मुझे दिए जा रहे हैं उस पैसे में क्या हमने आउटकम को निकाला है? सर समय है सर। तो उसके बाद जैसे कई सारी चीजें हैं, कुछ चीजों में हम कह देते हैं कि हमने कुछ सफलता पाई है। ऑटो पायलट मोड में भी अगर इकोनॉमी और सोसाइटी को आप छोड़ देंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ होगा। हम अपने बच्चे का ख्याल करेंगे, आप अपने बच्चे का ख्याल करेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ सोसाइटी विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट। But the role of the government comes as a part of intervention that leads to the positive outcome. वो इन चीजों में दिखना चाहिए और वो चीजें जब आप ढूंढने जाएंगे तो आपको लोकल चैलेंजेस के रूप में दिखता है। फिर एक इंडस्ट्री एंड इनोवेशन, जितनी सारी चर्चाएं हुई हैं उसमें आप सहमत हो असहमत हो, लेकिन R&D और इनोवेशन का रोल हम सब लोग पढ़ते रहे, टेक्स्ट बुक में भी पढ़ते रहे और रियलाइज भी हम लोग करते रहते हैं। डिजिटल इकोनॉमी हो रही है, इसके पीछे है क्या? उसके पीछे कहीं ना कहीं रिसर्च और इनोवेशन का रोल है और ये भी है सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स का एक हिस्सा है। आप पढ़ेंगे तो आपको अच्छा लगेगा कि व्हाट आर द टारगेट्स इसके बीच में जिसके कारण ऐसा हो रहा है। और इसमें जब स्टेट का रैंक देखेंगे तो इंडस्ट्री, इनोवेशन एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कनेक्टेड है, तो रोड कनेक्टिविटी सब जगह अच्छी हुई है। लेकिन जब हम जाते हैं इनोवेशन में तो इनोवेशन में लोवेस्ट रैंक पर हम आ जाते हैं। अब ये सोचने की बात है कि इनोवेशन में हम क्यों आ जाते हैं, तो हमें अगर पढ़ना होगा तो हम IIT पटना नहीं चूज करके हम IIT दिल्ली चूज करते हैं। इवन IIT जब हमें यूनिवर्सिटी चूज करना होगा तो हम मदर यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं चूज करके हम दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी चूज करेंगे। अगर हमारे पास एडमिशन नहीं हुआ तो हम सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी चले जाएंगे। एंड दैट टेल्स अस अप टू सम एक्सटेंट कि इनोवेशन हमारा यहाँ हमारे विदिन आवर, हम खुद हो जाते हैं कि कुछ स्टार्टअप हो रहे हैं, कुछ इनोवेशन हो रहे हैं, वो एक लीड्स स्कोर होता है जिसको हम लोग इंडिया इनोवेशन करके निकालते हैं और वो बताता है कि व्हाट आर द रीजंस फॉर द लोअर इनोवेशन एंड लोअर इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट। कुछ चीजें जैसे एक हिस्सा सस्टेनेबल, हम इसलिए इन चीजों को थ्रो कर रहे हैं कि हमारे साथ बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, रिसर्चर्स हैं। तो द आइडिया ऑफ हैविंग दिस काइंड ऑफ डिस्कशन इज दैट यू हैव सम क्वेश्चंस व्हिच यू कैन पिक अप, वी कैन पिक अप एंड वर्क ऑन दैट एंड फर्दर try to answer some of the questions like sustainable development goals। जब हम 13 में जाते हैं तो क्लाइमेट एक्शन की बात होती है, पर्यावरण की चिंता सबको होती है, हर जगह हम देखते हैं G20 का हो या अलग अलग यहाँ भी चर्चाएं हुई हैं, उस पर रही है वो चर्चा। आप इस चीज को सुनेंगे तो बड़ा पॉजिटिव सुखद एहसास होगा कि जब हम लोकल पर्सपेक्टिव में देखते हैं तो बिहार का स्टेट एक्शन प्लान ऑन क्लाइमेट चेंज जो था 2015 में आ गया। लॉन्ग टाइम हमारे पास बहुत ज्यादा है, लेकिन जब जो भी नंबर आया है अगर उन नंबर्स में जो हमने अपने रिसर्च के लिए कलेक्ट किया है उनको ना भी देखें तो आपने देखा होगा पिछले वीक जो रिपोर्ट आई थी 7 ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉल्यूटेड सिटीज इन द वर्ल्ड, 50 मोस्ट 50 सबसे प्रदूषित शहरों में 7 हमारे यहाँ से आ जाता है। तो इसका मतलब है कि देयर आर लोकल challenges which has not been taken into account while preparing those environmental action plans. So what else can we do if this there are local challenges that is affecting our achievement of our global goals. Global goals are there which appeals to us. हमें भी अच्छा लगता है कि ये चीजें अच्छा हो, यहाँ की सड़कें अच्छी हो, अर्बन प्लानिंग का चीजें हो, सिटीज लीगल हो, एक उसमें ये भी आता है। लेकिन वो चीजें अगर नहीं हो रही है तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें पॉलिसी डिजाइन और अपने रिसोर्स के बेटर यूटिलाइजेशन के लिए एविडेंस मिलता है कि वहां करने की जरूरत होती है। जैसे पॉवर्टी चर्चा में हुई है, गोल नंबर 1 सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल का अगर नंबर 1 देखेंगे तो पॉवर्टी इरेडिकेशन है। अब ये चर्चा बड़ी गौर से अगर आप देखेंगे तो चर्चा जो है फ्रॉम इरेडिकेशन टू एलिविएशन आ गया है। दीज टू वर्ड्स हैव डिफरेंट मीनिंग। तो इन चीजों को अगर गौर से हम देखते हैं तो आखिर ऐसा हुआ क्यों है। और फिर रिसेंट अगर हम देखेंगे कि कोविड-19 के बाद जो भी आंकड़े आए हैं उनमें भी दिख रहा है कि पॉवर्टी में बढ़ोतरी हुए दिखा। नंबर 2 एंड हंगर था फूड सिक्योरिटी। फूड सिक्योरिटी की जब बात आती है उसके अंदर एक न्यूट्रिशन का कंपोनेंट आता है। तो हमें न्यूट्रिशन की चर्चा हम कह सकते हैं कि आप ऐसे फसल उपजाइए जिनमें बहुत सारा न्यूट्रिशन मिलेगा, लेकिन आप कह रहे होते हैं कि आप ऐसे फसल उपजाइए तो हमें कंज्यूम करना होगा कि ये मेरा एग्रीकल्चर सस्टेनेबल है कि नहीं, जो कि दूसरे सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल में आता है। मरुआ की खेती हमारे यहाँ होती थी, मान लीजिए लोगों ने छोड़ दिया, तो क्यों छोड़ दिया, तो क्या वो सस्टेनेबल है उनके लिए, उनके लाइवलीहुड के लिए है या नहीं है। इन चीजों को हमने लोकली एसेस अगर नहीं किया तो हमने अगेन हम रिपीट करें क्योंकि दैट इज माय रिसर्च व्हिच आई स्टार्टेड देयर द कॉन्टेक्स्ट विद जेंडर इक्वालिटी, जेंडर रिस्पांसिव। इस पे बड़ा ट्रिकी होता है। गवर्नमेंट के पर्सपेक्टिव से आप देखेंगे तो जेंडर बजट टाइप का आपको वर्ड सुनाई देता होगा, बट दैट इज नॉट द जेंडर बजट या ग्रीन बजट। वो होता क्या है, जब हमने बजट करके खर्च कर दिया तो फिर हम हेड्स को काउंट करते हैं कि इस हेड में महिलाओं पे इतना खर्च किया और ग्रीन पे इतना किया। अब बाय डेफिनेशन दिस इज नॉट द बजटिंग बट दिस इज द आउटकम ऑन दिस एक्सपेंडिचर।
थैंक यू सुधांशु, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू, यू हैव डन सो वेल। आई एम सॉरी, तो आई विश हम अधिक टाइम आपको दे पाते। फ्रेंड्स, मेरा अपना तरीका है, इस पर आप इंटरवीन कर सकते हैं। इंटरवेंशन कैन टेक 3 फॉर्म्स, आइदर ऑफ द 3। तीनों करेंगे तो और दिक्कत। यू कैन सीक अ क्लैरिफिकेशन इफ यू विश, राइट, आपका स्पष्टीकरण मांग सकते। सेकंड, यू कैन पुट sharp to the point question if you want. Third, you may make a quick comment, observation. ये तीनों में से किसी फॉर्म में इंटरवेंशंस इनवाइटेड। अरे डोंट डिसपॉइंट सुधांशु, उतनी दूर से आया, इतना बड़ा स्कॉलर है। मैंने कहा कहो ना कि बहुत अच्छा बोले, नहीं कुछ होगा तो कहो बहुत अच्छा बोले, फिर आइएगा। कम ऑन प्लीज गर्ल्स, अरे कुछ तो पूछो, ऐसे कहीं स्कॉलर। You have done so much of work. I hope something must have gone through your minds. कुछ नहीं, अप्रिशिएट ही तो करो, हम ही कर देंगे। On your behalf, my behalf, I deeply appreciate, put on record his contributions to the subject. ये स्कॉलर है, आज भी होल टाइम रिसर्चर है, मैंने पहले भी कहा है, और आपके यहाँ से गए थे, अभी पटना का एसेट है ये, आपने इनको ध्यान से सुना। थैंक यू वेरी मच। ओवर टू यू मिस्टर श्रेष्ठ, क्या लिखते हैं ऐसे नीचे ऊपर, आप ही का है तो आप ही बोलिए, और आप चूंकि लोकल है इसलिए थोड़ा सा इम्प्रोवाइज की। चलिए आप कहाँ जाना चाहते थे? प्रजापति जी, प्रजापालक बनिए। प्रजापति जी को कहते हैं कि हम लोग का ख्याल रखना है। आई ओवर टू यू।
चेयरपर्सन N.K Chaudhary साहब, सर, हाँ सर, कुमार सर,
हेलो
अनवर सर, और यहाँ सामने बैठे सभी विद्वज्जन, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, यहाँ
बिना बोले काम करो।
बहुत ही शॉर्ट पीरियड में हमें मिला इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का इनविटेशन। हमारी इच्छा हुई कि मैं भी कुछ सस्टेनेबल बातें करूं। इस पर मैंने एक शॉर्ट पीरियड में पेपर तैयार किया, जो चूंकि आप लोग मैक्सिमम लोग जानते हैं कि मैं यहाँ जगजीवन कॉलेज का प्रधानाचार्य हूँ, तो मैंने इस सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट से रिलेटेड एक टॉपिक मैंने जो रिसर्च किया, जिसके बारे में मैं आप लोगों को के सामने प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूँ। टॉपिक है रोल ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन इन सस्टेनेबल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, challenges and opportunities. I would like to read the research.
प्रजापति जी क्षमा करेंगे, आप शायद पूरा पेपर पढ़ेंगे तो इनका आज सेशन आज समाप्त।
नहीं सर, 5 मिनट,
हाँ,
कम से कम 5-7 मिनट।
अरे अगर डाल दें तो इससे अच्छी बात और क्या हो।
मैं शॉर्ट में
5 मिनट के होंगे, हम आपको 6 मिनट 7 मिनट।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
अगर आप उस पर पढ़ डालें
ओके सर, नो okay sir. India is a country with a rich cultural heritage and a rapidly growing economy. However, the country still faces several challenges in terms of sustainable economic development. One of the key factors that can play a crucial role in addressing these challenges in higher education. Higher education has the potential to equip individuals with the necessary skills and knowledge to drive innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development. However, despite significant progress in recent years, India's higher education system still faces several challenges that need to be addressed. In this article, we will explore the role of higher education in sustainable economic development in India, the challenges faced by the sector opportunity for several opportunity for growth and development, and how the new education policy 2020 can help address some of these challenges. So challenges of higher education in India. India is a country with a population of over 1.3 billion people, and higher education plays a crucial role in shaping the future of its country. However, the challenges that India faces in providing quality higher education are numerous. One of the biggest challenges in the lack of adequate infrastructure and resources to support higher education institutions. Many universities and colleges lack proper facilities such as libraries, laboratories, and classrooms, which hinders the ability to provide quality education. Another challenge is the shortage of qualified faculty members. The demand for higher education has increased significantly in recent years, but there are not enough qualified teachers to meet this demand. This results in overcrowded classrooms and poor student-teacher ratio, which negatively impact the quality of education. Additionally, there is a significant gap between industry requirement and academic curriculum. The curriculum taught in many systems does not align with the needs of industries, resulting in graduates who are not job ready. Overall, these challenges pose significant obstacles to achieving sustainable economic development through higher education in India. So now opportunity in higher education. In India, is a country with immense potential for growth and development, and higher education plays a critical role in achieving sustainable economic progress. The opportunities in higher education are vast, ranging from the expansion of existing institutions to the establishment of new ones, with the government's focus on promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. There is a growing demand for a specialized course that cater the fields. Now, the new education policy, the recently introduced new education policy aims to bring about a significant transformation in the Indian education system. The policy decided on the need for holistic or multidisciplinary education, which will enable students to develop critical thinking, problems, solving skills and activities. It also focuses on promoting research and innovation in higher education institutions. Now, I am come to the conclusion. Stop.
Welcome.
Now, I would like to conclude, sir. In conclusion, higher education plays a vital role in the sustainable economic development of India. Despite facing numerous challenges such as inadequate funding, outdated curricula, and limited access to quality education, there are also several opportunities for growth and improvement in the sector. With the recent implementation of the new education policy 2020, there is hope for positive change in the Indian higher education system. However, it will require a collective efforts from all stakeholders, including policymakers, educators, students, and society at large, to ensure that higher education in India can effectively contribute to sustainable economic development by investing in quality education and creating an enable environment for innovation and research. India can unlock its full potential as a global leader in higher education and drive long-term economic growth. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prajapati. I'm so glad you kept to your
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you will be a very good administrator because you know
Thank you, sir.
how to maintain discipline. Please come. Okay. And now I invite intervents. आप आइए। मैं सवालों का आप इस माइक को दीजिए।
चेयरमैन साहब ने इतना बढ़िया कॉम्प्लीमेंट दिया है, उसके बाद हम लोग उसी को आप वाले को सपोर्ट कर।
ऐसा नहीं कि ऑडियंस कहे कि चेयरमैन साहब अलाउ नहीं कर रहे। I'm not a राज्यसभा चेयरमैन or a लोकसभा चेयरमैन who sometimes doesn't allow interventions. Most welcome any intervention. कोई हस्तक्षेप, अरे एक बात तो कहो, चालू हो जाओ। Thank you. Now, I'm not only happy, I'm honored to have a guest from a neighboring country, neighboring friendly country, that is Nepal. I have always had very personal relationship with your country, sir, as our country has. And we have always valued, like India has valued its relations with the friendly neighboring country. Right? You have come all the way from Kathmandu. Welcome you from my side as chair. And the subject, Prajapati, he had picked up is comparison with Bihar and Madhesi. Madhesi ko inhone liya bahut acha. One of my students, I'll tell you later, worked on this subject. So I'm so happy to invite you. And as I told you, I feel honored to invite you to have your presentation. With the kind your request that you kindly be brief in your presentation so that there is some action and you can respond to some of the questions which may be raised. Thank you. Over to you. Over to you, Mr. Sreshtha.
Please keep my slide, PowerPoint slide.
Wait, देखो. Technical side, please take care.
Okay.
हम लोग रहने से दिक्कत होगी.
No,
It's okay. अरे हम उधर चले जाएंगे. आप आइए.
before the PowerPoint slide, I would like to read some idea to you. Respected Chairperson and dignitaries, attending this event, important event, international conference on the sustainable economic development in India, issues, challenges, and opportunities. Organized by Gaya College, Gaya, the location of Lord Buddha's enlightenment after his birth at Lumbini, Nepal. I extend my warm greetings on behalf of Tribhuvan University and myself. It has given me immense pleasure to present some of my ideas among the enlightened classes at this international conference on economics. I appreciate Gaya College having Professor Dr. Shivraj Adhikari and me come. In this regard, it would be unfair if I forget to mention my friend and younger brother, Adarsh Gupta, an economic professor at this Gaya College and event convener, whom I met during my MPhil and PhD program at CSP Center for Economic Studies and Planning, JNU, New Delhi. I want to express my gratitude to Tribhuvan University and my college, Dr. Rajalakshmi campus, Kathmandu, for allowing me to participate in this novel program. The Department of Economics of Gaya College, Gaya Conference on Sustainable Economic Development of India, issues, challenges, and opportunities pertinent in the current world environment. Today's world suffers from physical, economic, and the mental tragedies due to human and natural causes. The man-induced Russia-Ukraine war and the COVID-19 pandemic, the biggest natural crisis of the century. In addition, Turkey and Syria have recently been reeling under the biggest earthquake of the century. Furthermore, on March 10, 2023, Silicon Valley Bank of America collapsed, which is seen as the second biggest banking crisis in its history and the most significant after the financial crisis of 2007-2008. When taking into account those aforementioned natural and human calamities in three areas of environmental, social, and economic issues, the idea of sustainable development is maintained that the needs of the present must be met without compromising the capacity of the future generation. Meet their own needs becomes especially relevant. Since sustainable economic development defines our common future, the Brundtland report on the World Commission on Environment and Development 1987. Much work has been done looking for the issues and opportunity in the various fields after affect human societies and the entire environment. What challenging remains? Despite having faster growing economy in the world, inequality, unemployment, poverty, environmental degradation, moral hazard, and other issues are, in my opinion, vividly challenging issues facing India's sustainable economic development in search of future luminous opportunities. I am confident that the paper presented at this conference will highlight the urgent, long-term, and current economic issues confronting India and our Bihar state. In addition, since I am from India's northern neighboring country, Nepal, the discussion and conclusion of the conference will be advantageous to the entire Nepalese people as well as the modest province of Nepal, which is connected to Bihar. Finally, I wish for the grand success of this conference. Thank you. Now I will give my slide. No. Just give the send the slide, please. Skip this one. Give this one. This one is the sustainable economic development. I have placed here the line is the board of the common in all the things. Land issue in social, economic, environment issue. Land issues are more common to the sustainable development. If we can solve the problem of land that in the larger sense, then the sustainable development will be achieved. Just please change the other slide. The land, next slide. Land is not only the common property of people, it is also the property of the nation, area, territory. These will things these are all the things are regional, global tensions are going on and conflict also in the society. I will this famous quote by taken the mark that the property in the soil is the original source of all wealth and has become the great problem upon the solution of which depends the future of working class. Next slide. In this slide, I just simply mentioned that I'm going to just delete some of the issues of the Nepal and India, with especially difference with Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. And in next slide, labor migration, this is Kathmandu, we meet so many people from the Bihar, and labor migration is multi-dimension of society, economic, environment. There's so many multi-dimensions in the labor migration. Once we can solve or fight the labor migration or easy maintain the labor migration facing them, then sustainable development to come back and we can achieve also. The next slide.
वीडियो भी आ रहा है हो रहा
This slide also, agriculture, water issue. We know the water is Kosi, the soil of Bihar, we used to hear the soil of Bihar. It is also the one of the challenging issue of sustainable development. How locally we can solve it, we can manage it, Bihar, Kosi. And in the sustainable development, tourism, social tourism, Janaki Mandir is there in Madhya Pradesh, and the Gaya both is there in the Bihar. These four are very significant places for the religious and social thing. And also the economic, agriculture is one of the basic of agriculture thing. And in the literature, the continental literature, the land is even more prominent place also in continental literature. Next slide, I mentioned there. Next slide. Therefore, it says that the attention should be paid to the productivity of the land, and the land should be kept active. Therefore, the land should be taken from the non-cultivator and given to the cultivator. It is on the copy of the side, taken it from the Banaras 1992, 2021, and this from the copy of the side. The land is a very significant thing in the human society. So long as the earth will remain, the land question is very pertinent. But what kind of answer it is, nobody can say. Let the society decide what the land, how to use the land. This is the also mentioned by the Mark of land question. I think 72 land question is a very pertinent question. Next slide. And land question is also dwelt in the Adam Smith wealth of nation and also regard of the political economic development and taxation. Land issue and Mahatma Gandhi Swaraj, Indo Swaraj. Okay. This also dwelt the line, the own civilization. India has their own civilization. We should not too much attach with the Western civilization. We have to develop our own civilization. So I have read it in the Swaraj. My gist is that India has its own civilization, not too much technical or other things. Yet the people have employment in their own way. And next slide, I have little time, so I am simply giving the mind idea so that I could interact later with you. And India, as I mentioned here, India and Bihar is fastest growing economy. Okay, and next slide. You know all about India, we are discussing. This is the main figure of the signature of Padmini. Okay, I have taken from this is Google. What if India has achieved sustainable development? It has spillover effect over its neighboring countries. Therefore, in the South Asia region, or also in the Hindu Kush region, also India has a significant place. Therefore, I have mentioned this figure here. The Nepal is a very small country in relation to the physical and natural resources and other things. So India's sustainable economic development is very important and significant for us too. Next slide. In Bihar state, I come from the rock Bilgan, it is near to Roxol. when I went to the map, that is, I am come from one point to another point. Okay, there's a Roxol is there and the Gaya is here. It's very long distance. I travel so long. And therefore, in Nepal, next slide. So the next slide. And this is a geographical after Sudhanshu Treaty. We have this map, 1914, 1916 Sudhanshu Treaty. Okay, this is also very important for the three geographical regions and environmental, social, and economical for Nepal. Okay, in upper side Himalaya, in middle side in region, and lower side Tarai region. And that Tarai region is the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. In the next slide, yeah, this is the Madhya Pradesh where I live, Madhya Pradesh, and this is the close to Bihar. Yes, I want to just relate this to Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. How it is very closely related for the sustainable economic development for us. Okay, therefore we have the next slide. There is 8 districts in the Madhya Pradesh. First of Kamlai Rohtak to the Saptari, and it is separated to the Kosi basin and it is the fertile and Narayan basin. This is, and the next slide. This is the Madhya Pradesh and Bihar. This I want to relate. This is my also one of the curious, interesting subject. So that how could we relate both this day? And in the next slide, just I want to show you this slide. I know we have said development, so many development. There is more slide in Nepal 1996 to 2006, and the regime changed. And at that time, what was the economy of Nepal? Next slide, you can see that with the agriculture sector is downward and the service sector is upward, industry sector is benefiting. That is the condition of premature deindustrialization. As by the logic metric, general logic, I quoted general logic economic, this is the premature deindustrialization where people is still their livelihood in agriculture, but the industry is not growing up and people are going out of the nation for remittance, for the migration, the premature deindustrialization. And next slide. This is the I discussing the what are the components of the Nepalese economy. In the component, we see that there are in agriculture more the energy is less, other service sector is growing. These are the things I have seen in the figure. Next slide. This is next slide. Yeah, this is still the dependency of agriculture is constant, but the productivity of agriculture is less in GDP. Therefore, it is our economy nowadays. Next slide. And this is the economy. How the deficit is managed by the remittance. Okay, there is balance of payment is simply managed by the remittance. That is the next slide. And after economic reform, as till the 90s, the economic reform, new liberal policy started in Nepal 1985 after balance of payment crisis, and it grows up as remittance comes. Okay, and the financial institution grows like this. And Nepalese economy now depends on totally remittance. Okay, this next slide. And this is the inequality of land. That's why I'm going to relate to this with the land question. In Nepal, because of land question, there was a turmoil of the market war. People saw market war. Therefore, land question is very pertinent in this issue. So, for sustainable development, this is inequality of Nepalese land nation. I just want to provide the Gini coefficient. Next question. And we have policies since 1985, IMF, World Bank, IMF, and the ADB provide prescribed was just Nepal follows that policy, but it couldn't make any substantial changes in Nepalese society. And the last one slide is there. This is how the land issues was more as a socialization of land in uphill phases, in uphill phases. I've just highlighted this. But let them society decide what kind of land use they have to do. Let them decide. This is up to that one. Next slide. And this is all about uphill phases that people are given, the society are granted for their own fate of their land. Let them decide. Next slide. This is a socialization of land. Once the land issue was there, I have shown it. If we can socialize the land, then only there will be sustainable economic development could be maintained. Next slide, please. And this is I've taken it from Buddha. Okay, this is the place of Buddha, and Buddha said that this is the express of Buddhism philosophy. Superior human being, suffering befalls man, just as there is a cause of suffering, there is also a cure. There is also a way to relieve suffering, and person who holds the view that there is a cause of suffering, also a remedy for it as Masterman. So it is I have taken from Rahul Sankitya for this quote taken from that. And Buddha has taken 3 ways of path of from the coming out of suffering. First, second, and third. The third one is the Buddhist. The third person who follows the third person that becomes Buddha. This is the last. I want to say that the sustainable economic development, even in the thought of Buddha, we follow it. There is it's still possible to we have a open, we have golden future in the end report.
There is an announcement for technical session participants. The first technical session for paper presentation by participants is about to begin. All those participants who are present offline are requested to move towards the MBA building. We have an MCA conference hall over there. We will be doing a presentations over there. All the interested audience is also addressed to move over there if they are interested in attending those presentations.
Participants जिनको ऑफलाइन प्रेजेंटेशन करना है उनका प्रेजेंटेशन का जो है हमने एक बिल्डिंग है एमबीए बिल्डिंग बनाता है वहाँ एमसीए बीसी कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल है वहाँ पर आपका प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑलरेडी वी आर टू लेट so we will continue this and there is another session which is online presentation. The rest people will be here and there are other audiences are also there. Professor Vikrama Singh will chair your session. So I think the presenters should move there. And we will
Just a
continue.
minute, I'll finish in a minute.
Okay. Sir,
It's not proper. Please,
Yeah.
but wait first.
Please,
Friends,
please.
कहाँ गए भाई प्रजापति भाग कर गए। मित्रों, सर्वप्रथम मैं इस सेशन में सुधांशु तुम भी थे ना? डॉक्टर सुधांशु, प्रोफेसर सत्येंद्र प्रजापति एंड सुदीप श्रेष्ठ जी को आप सबकी ओर से, आयोजकों की ओर से, अपनी ओर से हृदय से धन्यवाद देता हूं। On behalf of the audience, very distinguished audience, organizers, my own behalf, thank you very much. प्रजापति जी और सुधांशु चलो जल्दी आओ। हम तो नंबर 1, नंबर 2, चूंकि सेशन शुरू होने वाला है, हमारा जो संबंध है, please turn it down. This is not the way. Let me declare this session over. I'll do it in half minute. ये क्या तरीका? आप इस देश के साथ हमारा कहा जाता है बैठे हुए हैं, हम भी उसी तरफ के हैं, मिथिला साइड के, बेटी रोटी का सबक, राइट? लेकिन हमने उसमें एक ऐड किया, आप बिगिन के हैं क्या? एक आपके यहाँ इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में I added the third element, probably which you may or may not know. हमारा आपसे क्रांति का भी संबंध, ये पहले कोई नहीं बोलता था, जहां तक मेरा ख्याल है। I introduced this concept when some of your distinguished guests, including Vijay, were there. आप कहेंगे क्या? आपके some of the great leaders participated in our freedom movement. Your most revered leader, B.P. Koirala, served in, to the best of my knowledge, Hazaribagh jail with JP and certain others. And we also fought your freedom from Rana regime. You know that, I'm not repeating. So we have had great relations, great cooperation, And I strongly feel if your country is not sustainable, economically, socially, culturally, politically, it will affect the sustainability of Indian polity, economy, society in a big, big way. And if we are not sustainable, I'm afraid your country probably will face this problem. So it is in our interest, join hands, work together for a very, very special subject. By coming here, you have contributed to that great mission. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Ravindra, I'm in your land. Thank you, thank you. Sudhanshu, you are a young, bright scholar. I wish you many, many success, Diwakar ji. ऐसे लोगों को हम लोग जो future belongs to you. We see hope, light, and everything in scholars like you and some others sitting here. Thank you very much. And above all, I thank you all. And what of time that I take line back, oh, thank you. And then I declare this session over.
I thank all the distinguished speakers for very aptly and lucidly discussing the different aspects of sustainability. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I declare this session over to the next session. Thank you.
Participants for offline sessions, technical session 1 may move ahead to the MBA building.
For offline presentation, about how have to present, conference room of
MCA conference room,
and the name
MBA building.
ये चलते रहेगा वहाँ अलग चल
MBA building, बाहर निकल गए.
नाइस प्रेजेंट हाँ
Kindly settle down. Now I
सोनू को
request
वाईफाई का पासवर्ड सोनू को पता है हमारे बाहर है
now I kindly settle down. I request all the dignitaries to kindly settle down at their places. We'll shortly start the online the first technical session. We shall begin the online session, online presentation of participants.
वाईफाई नेटवर्क कौन सा है अजीत है वाईफाई
आपका यहाँ पे है ना
मेरा तो वायर से
नेटवर्क जो भी है यहाँ पे
सब स्मॉल लेटर में है
I request all the dignitaries to take their seats. We are about to begin the online presentation of the participants.
जो लास्ट सेशन है ऑनलाइन का वो डालिए यहाँ पर लगाइए
पीपीटी में
हाँ पीपीटी में डालिए,
बताइए कौन सा
इसके आगे बढ़िए। ना 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 अरे ये तो अलग है,
जम्बल्ड है
अरे वो लास्ट टेक्निकल सेशन है, सॉरी टेक्निकल सेशन का नहीं है, छोड़ दीजिए, नहीं है टेक्निकल सेशन, छोड़ दीजिए,
यही खाली
आप डायरेक्ट दे दीजिए सामने का, ये मत दीजिए कोई भी, ये कुछ मत दीजिए। इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का कोई है ऐसा?
मेरे पास यही है।
ठीक है बस छोड़ दीजिए, बस यही रन दीजिए, यही अभी रन दीजिए और डायरेक्ट आप वीडियो दे दीजिए।
Before moving ahead towards the online presentation, I request Mr. Alok Kumar Gupta, Bursar and Head, Department of Economics, Gaya College, to felicitate Dr. Sudhanshu Kumar, Associate Professor, Center for Economic Policy and Public Finance, Patna. Sir, please.
उसको तो वहाँ भेज दिए Give us some moments, sir. That's fine. Sonu sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now let us formally begin the online presentation of participants. I request Professor Dr. S.N. Prajapati, sir, Principal J.J. College, Gaya, to come on the dais to chair this session. Sir, please. I hope we have been joined by the participants online. Technical team, kindly make sure that the participants have joined.
वहाँ से आप आए ना कमांड, वहाँ ऑनलाइन वाले लोग यहाँ आपका जो लोग हैं उनको लिंक शेयर करना है वहाँ से लॉग इन है तो हम हमारा कंप्यूटर पे यहाँ लॉग इन नहीं है तो आपने हमारे यहाँ दिया है देखो आपको ग्रुप एक बनाए ना, ग्रुप में एडमिन है लिंक को शेयर करके जिसको यहाँ ज्वाइन करेंगे हमारा हम लोग यहाँ ज्वाइन करेंगे ना, अपने लैपटॉप से ज्वाइन करेंगे तब हम काम करेंगे। हमारे पर आना चाहिए।
This is happening for the first time in the history of Gaya College, where we are having conference in a hybrid mode.
ऑनलाइन कैसे होगा? इसलिए क्या ठीक है हाँ जूम पे तो जुड़े हुए हैं, अभी लाइव हैं हम लोग। हाँ 22 है। कहाँ ट्रांसफर करेगा? यहाँ स्क्रीन पर। तो सर आपने बोला ये स्क्रीन पे दिखाओ। जूम में प्रेजेंटर वहां के कोई बनेंगे तब ना वहां दिखेगा सर।
आलोक जी आपको हमारी आवाज आ रही है? आलोक कुमार जी।
यस सर।
आलोक कुमार जी, हाँ अपना वीडियो भी आप ऑन कर सकते हैं। आलोक कुमार जी। हाँ, आलोक कुमार अपना वीडियो ऑन कर सकते हैं।
वो दिखाएंगे तो यहाँ दिखेगा।
ये वीडियो का ऑप्शन नहीं है, एक सेकंड।
हाँ
ठीक है, हम आपको देख पा रहे हैं आलोक जी।
जी
आप अपना वो भी कर सकते हैं, स्क्रीन भी शेयर कर सकते हैं।
As we can see, we have been joined by the
वहाँ
participants.
उस्मान गनी होंगे ना।
We'll start the session shortly.
स्क्रीन शेयर का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है सर। हेलो
आलोक जी, आप अपना पीपीटी ले आ सकते हैं स्क्रीन पे।
स्क्रीन शेयर का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है।
स्क्रीन शेयर का नीचे देखिए, बॉटम में ग्रीन कलर का, बॉटम बीच में ग्रीन कलर का शेयर स्क्रीन।
नहीं, स्क्रीन शेयर आ नहीं रहा है। इसमें पार्टिसिपेंट, क्वेश्चन आंसर, चैट और मोर का ऑप्शन है।
मोर देखिए, मोर पे जाइए।
कैप्शन, सेटिंग, रेज हैंड, स्टॉप इनकमिंग वीडियो, बस इतना ही आ रहा है। शायद आपको अलाउ करना पड़ेगा।
So just a formal technical check. Am I audible to the audience on Zoom? Do I have Dr. Kapila Mallah online?
Yes, Kapila
Have you
Mallah.
joined us?
Yeah. I am here.
If you can just unmute yourself and say hi or hello or something.
Yes, Kapila Mallah is there on the screen.
Kapila Mallah, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm there. Or
Yeah,
any
yeah.
of the participants, if you can hear me, just unmute yourself and say hi or hello or something.
Good evening, ma'am.
Unmute yourself and say. Unmute yourself and.
Good evening, ma'am. We are here only.
Any of the participants out of Kapila?
Yes,
Dr. Balkar Singh, Mr. Alok Kumar, Dr. Sudhir Kumar, Dr.
Yes, ma'am. I am.
Mrs. Devjani.
Yes, ma'am. I am here.
Sarkar.
I
Yes,
am
ma'am, we are present here only.
Devjani, kindly respond.
Yes.
I request the participants, if you can hear me, kindly respond, unmute yourself and say hi or hello, anything.
Yes, ma'am, we have unmuted
Realize that
ourselves.
you have joined us and you can hear us. If I'm audible, kindly say
Yes,
and
ma'am.
respond.
is here. Hello,
Mr.
ma'am.
Ravindra Kumar, Dr. Tribhuvan Mr. Ranveer Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Tribhuvan is here. Hello.
Yeah, Devjani Sarkar ji, you can go ahead and share
Yes,
your
sir.
screen and start your presentation. Is that fine?
Okay. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Please
sir,
go
we can
ahead.
do that.
Please go ahead.
चाहे आप तुमको आज भी नहीं बुलाओ तो आप ही बुला लियो। एक वीडियो अपलोड करने।
Should I start?
Devjani ji, you
If
can
I'm
go ahead.
audible, participants are
Yes, sir,
requested to at least raise their hand and give a
Please.
message.
Devjani ji, please go ahead. Share your screen if you have to.
Yeah, I'm trying, sir. I'm trying actually, but I'm not getting the proper option for that.
Share screen किया आपने?
प्रेजेंटर दिल्ली का है, वो अनम्यूट करेगा, होस्ट करेगा।
Yes, Kapila ji,
जो
we can
host कर
see your
रहा है।
screen. Yeah, go ahead. Kapila जी, आप full screen जा सकते हैं.
Now they are sharing.
अच्छा। ए, तुम्हारा मोबाइल तो दिया सुन।
हाँ, yeah.
देखिए.
Are you able to listen me?
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Yeah. So
You can go full screen also, ma'am.
I suppose this is full screen. Wait.
No, you can stop, share and share again. Yes.
Yeah, so good evening to, should I start, sir?
आवाज दिया हुआ है इसका आवाज दीजिए
Yes, Kapila ji, please. Yes, you can start. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So good evening to Professor Prajapati and all the participant of the conference. So myself, Dr. Kapila Mallah from the Delhi University. I'm going to present a paper on this prestigious conference. The name of the paper is India's Labour Market Pre and Post COVID-19 Pandemic, which is under the theme 2, Employment and the Migration. So as we know that the unemployment level among the young population has increased in the past year due to many challenges faced by the labor market, especially during 2012 and 18 period. The non-agriculture sector like industry, construction and the tertiary sector were unable to absorb the rising supply of young adults who were potentially job seeker. So this paper discussed the challenges faced by Indian labor market before COVID-19 and further analyzed the demand damage caused by COVID-19 pandemic to India's labor market. So as we know, the casual worker with limited education, with few skills and without social security, they were the people who suffered a lot during this COVID period. Similarly, the informal worker, including migrants, are the worst affected. So that we can witness from the many news during the COVID period that despite the fact that the organized sector people might be they have the option of the online working, but these people don't have any option of the online working, so they affected worse. So the impact of the dual shock of the pandemic and the lockdown was not uniform across the workforce. So we know that thing, that this thing, one thing the pandemic happened and the another thing is the lockdown, which actually worstly affected in fact, globally it affected the economy. The major factor due to which the Indian economy is seeing a structural shift that are firstly, the working age population of India is increasing due to the demographic dividend. So the problem of unemployment actually, if somebody asks you that why we are facing that problem, so of course we know that the demographic dividend is the one of the right now nowadays we can say this is the matter of concern for us. Like China, they have used the demographic dividend very well, which we could not, might be some of the policy framework issues. The secondly, there is a sectoral shift of the working age population from the agriculture sector to the secondary or the tertiary sector. So as the Arthur Lewis said that there is a shift in the primary sector to the tertiary and the secondary sector, and if we are not properly prepared for that type of shifting, then definitely we have to face the problem of the unemployment. So as we know that the primary sector, the share of the agriculture in the GDP has declined up to 15 to 20%, but still agriculture remains the sector which provide employment to the maximum population, almost 45% we can find. Since all the supply chains were disrupted during the pandemic, this made the slowdown in India even worse. The low rural demand was a major concern for policymakers in India before the pandemic. Some economists in 2000 sometime, hello? So sometime in 2018, there was an article of the Arvind Subramaniam that why slowed down in India. So I quoted this all idea from that the Arvind Subramaniam's article, that some economists argue that the unemployment happens due to the structural factor like labor law, land law, and the income inequality. While some economists argue that unemployment happened due to the cyclical factor like slump in the aggregate demand, problem in the agriculture, monetary tightness, GST, or the demonetization. So there was a very good debate, and he addressed all this debate, Arvind Subramaniam, in his article very beautifully, that why we simply said that why the unemployment happens in the Indian economy. Some economists suggest that unemployment is higher after 2008 global financial crisis due to the twin balance sheet crisis, and that we know very well that what happened in that, because there is, we can say, the double twin balance sheet crisis. Once happened in the real estate market and the banking sector, and another happened in the heavy industry and the banking sector. So country faces these type of twin balance sheet crisis, and absolutely in the monetary term, rather than all the all the traditional term we use, that the aggregate demand or the problem of agriculture, these are the very much common terminology we use for any of the problem in the country. But the technical issue that he raised, it is very beautifully he raised this thing, and we can go through that thing. The unemployment rate become around 3 times more from the previous unemployment rate. So during the pandemic, if we look at the data, we find that this rate increased 3 times. Although the government simply restricted to show the unemployment data, but still there is some institution or some organization which provide data. Although the primary labor survey force, they already declared data it's hardly a month before. Well, so the before COVID, the labor force who earned less than ₹1,000 per day was around 15%. And during the first few months of the lockdown, it was increased to 26.5%. So as I address that thing, that the people who is one large section from the economic society, they actually affected a lot. And that from this data we can understand very well. A very well study is done by the Ajim Premji University during this lockdown period, where they took more than 5,000 people from the different section of the society, and then they give very good analysis regarding the unemployment situation. Ruchika Kapoor did that, covered that thing very well in her article. And the another thing, that the labor force with zero income was also increased to 20.5 from 9% previously. So we can understand that because if we look at the marginalized section, especially for the employment, as I told you, that the organized sector have much in the better position rather than the unorganized sector. And we can see this thing from the data, that the labor force which has zero income, or the labor force which is earned less than 100 rupees per day, they are actually worstly affected by all these type of things. So the estimate from the World Bank also suggests that in India, 12 million people will push into extreme poverty. So this is really a very, very worrisome such situation for the Indian economy, that we have to address this problem, because they are the forced shift in the poverty. This is not by nature or by the circumstances, they are forced to shift. So the government have to take care of these type of people a lot. So the periodic labor force survey 2021-22, which released highly a month back, they realized that in the rural area, 57% men and the 27% women are part of the labor force. While in the urban area, situation of women is worse. Men's participation is 58%, while women is down to just 19%. And recently, if you go through the State Bank of India survey, where they did the survey for how we have to calculate the participation of women in the GDP, a very beautifully survey and the report presented by the State Bank of India, where they give this thing, that why women are actually pushing down from the unemployment. And it was really a good article, so a good report rather. So what can be because we have the detailed studies in the paper, and because we have the limited time for 4-5 minutes for the participants, so I just wind up, because I'm giving here only the basic concern of the things, that what is actually happen in the system, and then how we can come out from that type of vicious cycle of the unemployment. So in rural area, the Manrega emerged as the critical safety net that we know very well, and even government increased the fund immediate after the COVID in the Manrega. And the another thing, the very crucial debate started in the economy, which is the unemployment insurance. That can be one measure to prevent extreme unemployment, because we people are going to face that thing a lot in the current future also, up to the 2030. So we people, especially in India, we are going to face that problem a lot. So by this thing, I simply stop my voice, and thank you very much for listening patiently. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chair. If anybody asks to something, they are welcome to ask.
Hello. Thank you, Kapila.
Thank you.
Have you any questions regarding this? Anybody? Okay. So next.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Kapila. Next one, Dr. Balkar Singh.
Hello.
Hello. Balkar Singh.
Yes, sir.
Start your paper presentation, and you are given only 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, sir. Very good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to present my paper for international conference. Many thanks to the whole team of Gaya College and Economics Department of for the its
Hello, sir.
very nice.
Balkar,
Hi,
sir.
Dr.
Please
Balkar
share
Singh.
your PPT. You don't have PPT, sir?
Yes, sir.
Please share your PPT if you have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, please share.
One second, 1 minute. My topic is title, Role of ICT and Rural Element. I finish in due time. I, Dr. Balkar Singh, Assistant Professor, Rural Element, School of Continuing Education, Economic Degree. Okay. ICT. Information and Communication Technology has contributed a lot of upliftment of any nation and society. Today, developed countries have made proper use of ICT. ICT has played a major role in bringing social and economic change in our rural areas. Today, ICT has made its reach from village farm to schools. The use of ICT is also bringing about fundamental and unprecedented change in agriculture, health, education, governance, and other areas of rural development in rural India. Today, ICT is the most important weapon for bringing dynamic change in rural development. Today, if we talk about the development with the communication and information technology, when they develop related, it can be called integrated development. Through information and communication technology, knowledge, setting government program, setting with the village. Rural development has increased on the other hand, knowledge, setting ideas, experiences for rural people and rural areas have been recognized. Innovation recognized the national international level. This has only benefit of the national and international. Although ICT communication, Milan exchange. Milan. Although ICT communication information technology has started communication revolution in rural areas in the country. Even today, there are many challenges after some possibility of electricity. Yes, sir. Although ICT communication technology has started a communication revolution in rural areas in the country, even today there are many challenges after some possibility of ICT in rural areas, such as internet connectivity, limited poverty and availability of electricity, with the lack of technical education, etc. This paper is a conceptual, it is based on the collected facts principle example of information technology related to secondary source, and it attempts to generate the information of communication technology concept and analyze the concept behind the growth of development. Keywords. ICT rural development integrated prospect challenges. Introduction. The future of the rural India is full possibility. More than half of the India population lives in the village. The overall development of any country is possible when only change can be measured and lasting only when it benefits which all the sector of society. International information technology develop also lives in the area. Effort have been made to give the well platform presentation, relation, information, communication technology. I showed the my paper because time of limitation. The objective should be the role of information technology in rural development is to understand how technology can be utilized to improve the socio-economic condition of rural areas. Some specified.
Conclude your paper. Please conclude your paper, Dr. Balkar.
Ji, sir.
Conclude your paper.
Thanks, sir. To assess the impact of ICT on various aspects of rural development, such as agriculture, health, education, government, entrepreneurship. To understand the role of governance policy, private sector initiative, and community participant promoting the use of ICT for rural development. To identify the challenges and barriers of the ICT of use of ICT in rural areas and suggest strategy overcome. To highlight the best practice and success story of ICT-based intervention in rural development and draw lessons for future initiatives. Overall, the objective of the study would be provide insight into how to ICT can be used in the tool for industry development and information policy and methodology. The paper is consolidated based on the collective fact principle example of information technology. Secondary sources, it attempts to generalize the information and communication technology concept and analyze the concept behind the growth and development ICT. The concept of the ICT. Information communication technology first appearance in mid-1980 was defined all kinds of electronics system and use of broadcasting, telecommunication, and mediated communications. With the example of including personal computers, video games, cell phones, internet, and electronic payment system and computers, etc. ICT made the computer communication and technology, computer technology tool for storing, process information digital form of the wide communication technology electricity, transparent, disseminate digital information. Additionally, ICT means variety of technological applications in the process of communication and information. The word ICT is a combination of two words, information communication technology. Information means knowledge and technology means use of computers and communication. The term of
Okay, Balkar.
sir last 2 minutes last में इसमें चैलेंज एंड बस थोड़ा सा और पढ़ देता हूँ सर थोड़ा सा बस लास्ट पे पढ़ूंगा इसमें कुछ थोड़ा सा प्रोग्रेस ऑफ रोल ऑफ ICT rural development. ICT is very important role for rural development with the help of the pace of development in rural areas are selected and the quality of life people have there are improved. ICT has made the possibility to improve various services and products in rural areas. This has not only resulted in the social and economic upliftment, but has also improved the quality of life of people. With the help of ICT, there has been development in rural areas of various fields such as agriculture, entrepreneurship, education, health, commerce. Due to the income of the employment opportunity also increase information about various government their benefit also made by the possible process. Challenges. After this possibility of rural areas, we come to the challenges which are not less as with fund sourcing connectivity. Internet, such limited rural areas, digital literacy very low rural India. Training of skilled people are in rural areas lack digital training of skill. Poverty also remain an obstacle to the full use of ICT rural development. Panchayat are being connected with the broadband under Digital India. Its solution is being found by the
Dr. Balkar Singh, you are exceeding your time limit. I request you to kindly one minute.
Announced in the budget under the Skill Mission, youth are being trained under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Yojana. The solution is being found in the generating electricity through solar panel. People are being lifted out of poverty through the National Livelihood Mission. Conclusion. In the short, we can say despite many challenges in our obstacle, ICT has become a ladder for the rural development and today development cannot be imagined without it. Today ICT has not only become part of country, society, but also the first need of the every home, facilities and individual. Thanks. My paper is done. Thanks, sir, for giving me opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Next is Mr. Alok
Thank you,
Kumar.
sir.
Next is Mr. Alok Kumar. Start your paper. Only conclude your paper within 3 minutes. Mr. Alok,
Yes, sir.
conclude your paper within 3 minutes.
Meanwhile, Jyotsna ji is ready. Jyotsna ji, please go ahead.
Yes, sir, I am ready.
Okay, you can go next.
So we have a slight change in the order. Dr. Jyotsna would be presenting now.
Conclude your paper. Dr. Jyotsna, conclude your paper within 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because time does not permit us.
Yeah, definitely. I will try my best. Okay, very good evening to everyone, the chair, panelists, and the audience. I am presenting one of my paper. The title is Economic Growth or Social Sector Development, which way Odisha is going, in which I am checking the data from 1980 to 2018. Okay, where is my slide?
We just lot it. Kindly share.
Okay.
We were able to see it.
Are you able to see it?
No.
No, ma'am, your presentation is not visible.
No.
Click on share the screen, Jyotsna.
Please try again. Come back to Zoom.
Yeah, I'm in Zoom, sir.
Yes, come back. Then again press share screen.
Yeah, I'm doing again. Yeah.
Okay.
Share. Yes. Can you see it now?
We can see it now. Full screen आप जा सकते हैं. Control L.
Control L.
कहीं भी grace. Yeah.
It's working. It's working. Can you see it?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So the title of my paper is Economic Growth or Social Sector Development, which way Odisha is going. So I'm presenting here. First of all, I want to introduce the definition of the social sector, in which I am trying to, I'm taking this definition from the State Finance Report and RBI report. That's a standard definition for the social sector, in which they cover the 17 social services, and in which we have the 15 social services and 2 economic services. By this definition, I proceed my paper. And then, if we are talking about the social sector scenario in Odisha, Odisha has witnessed a relatively higher economic growth rate during the last decade as compared to the 1980s. And since the persistence of the economic and social inequality, economic growth did not translate it in the human phase, we are particularly trying to mention in which way Odisha is moving. If we compare the Odisha's performance on the Human Development Indicator with respective of the other state performance, we can see yes, as we consider Odisha as a low income state, Odisha is performing better. So in this context, the development position of the social sector in a low income state like Odisha may not be commensurate with the nationwide uniform development, but its indicators are showing the improvement over the time period. So the current paper tried to analyze the development of social sector in Odisha over the 1980 to 2018. If we look at the conceptual framework for the Odisha, the indicator on the recent growth, this paper focused consideration to the various issue that high growth policy, considerable social and economic change, and the role of the state that was mentioned in the economic survey report of the Odisha 2017 to 18. It was noticed that the increase in per capita income in the state has an impact on the social sector.
Dr. Jyotsna, conclude your paper.
I'm doing. I will take just 5 minutes. Otherwise, I will lost.
No, 3 minutes limit.
Okay. I will take 4 to 5 minutes. Otherwise, I will lost. So if we look at the growth, poverty, social sector scenario, financial scenario within the Odisha, we find that Odisha's performance is improving over the time period. The decline in the poverty in Odisha is higher than the decline in poverty for the all of the India. So there is a chances, if you look at the trend and pattern of the Odisha, irrespective of the pattern of expenditure within the state for the social services, there is a lesson for the other low income state to follow this. And this is a matter of redistribution of the public resources from the one sector to the another. And this result can be seen by checking the data from 1980 to 2018. Okay, the total social sector expenditure in Odisha as compared to the all India other state, it's better in the last couple of decades. If we look at the pattern of expenditure in Odisha, out of the net state domestic product, the blue shades are showing the improvement in the social services. These services are categorized. We can see in the performance of the health, education, housing, urban development, SC/ST welfare, social security benefit. These terms are improving over the time period. You can observe these trends by the blue shades. If we look at the social sector expenditure, public expenditure, out of the aggregate public expenditure within the Odisha, there is an improvement after 2000 onwards. So, and if we look at the composition of the social sector expenditure within the Odisha state, yes, there is an improvement. So by the three indicators, we can conclude as we define the Odisha as a low income state as compared to the other developing state, Odisha is doing better in terms of the social sector public expenditure out of the NSTP, out of the aggregate public expenditure, and within the composition of the social sector. So it's a matter of the policy implications, and you can say as a matter of the publication, matter of the distribution of the social services, and some of the Odisha schemes are doing better that help the Odisha to perform better on the housing, and you can say the housing distribution, employment schemes, and free drug distribution scheme that help to improve the health indicators, and Briju Krishan Kalyan Yojana that help in the social security fronts. So these are the primary schemes that help the Odisha to not only improve the home and development indicator, beside that help to generate the revenue for the state as well. So I am coming to the conclusion by this paper. It is also observed that after economic and financial reform, the state priority of spending within the home and sector measure has shifted from some of the services to the another one, but still this state is doing better. But many policies and institutional initiatives, Odisha has achieved many milestones on the social sector attainments, and why some still have to be achieved. It is the state and local community that should have predominantly presence in the social sector spending. Allocation of resources from the union of the state should not be entirely rule-based discriminationary flow of the funds. Besides, there is a need to focus on improving the efficiency of the public expenditure and follow a progressive fiscal policy of public spending for the social sector development. Sir, this is from my side. Thank you. Sir,
Thank you. Next one, Dr. Sudhir Kumar. Next paper presenter, Dr. Sudhir Kumar. Are you ready? Next one, Mrs. Devjani Sarkar.
Devjani ji, you can go next.
Yeah. My PPT is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, not so far.
But I have already just.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Sushmita ji, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am ready with
Okay, we can go ahead. Please try. You can also start your video.
Yes, sir, I have started. Okay, so shall I share the presentation now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, sir, I'll just take 5 minutes and quickly come up with the presentation. So good evening to everybody present over here. The topic for my presentation.
Next one is Sushmita Chandra.
Yes, sir, I am presenting here. Is my screen visible to everybody?
It's visible. Go ahead, Sushmita.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So everybody,
Go to conclusion within 3 minutes.
yes, sir, I'll surely try to do so. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sushmita Chandra, and the topic that I've chosen to present over here today is women social entrepreneurs, catalyst of social change for the society. And for the same, let us start with the introduction. As we all know that the entrepreneurs in our area is increasing, and so we also need to take into consideration the women entrepreneurs, and for that what changes needs to be done from the side of government as well as from the side of family, from the side of society is catered in this research paper. I'll quickly go to the objectives of the society. Now, what are the objectives of the study? Explain what social entrepreneurship is, provide certain instances of Indian women who are pursuing social entrepreneurship, talk about the difficulties we see that women social entrepreneurs face, and talk about the initiatives that the India or the Indian government is taking to empower women. And we can also provide certain ideas to empower the women. Moving on to the next methodology. What methodology I have selected for the concerned paper? Sir, this paper is solely based on the secondary sources, means I have gathered data from various organizations, government organization, various research reports, published articles, etc. Now, in this, continuing further, this is my very second objective, where I have mentioned the names of a few very famous social entrepreneurs. As we all know that women continue to build groundbreaking social companies in big numbers across India, and they are not, we cannot say at par with men, but they are equally catching up with the men. These women handle the pressing social problems on their own initiatives because they have a burning passion to improve people's life. And they are 5 names I have mentioned. That is Aditi Gupta from Menstrupedia, Sheetal Mehta Walsh from Shanti Life, Sari Chahal from Shadows.in, and Prukalpa Shankar from Social Corps, and Priya Naik from Samaj Social Ventures. Now, in the next section, I have covered the thing that what obstacles do the women face during the process. So a mother's role, childhood, training and education, self-availability, and personality. Now, I would have defined each and every topic, but due to time constraints, I'm leaving that. But these are certain obstacles that the women face during the process of the lifetime and during the process of becoming a social entrepreneurs. Now, what are the efforts that has been taken by the institution or by the government? There are many efforts and schemes that have been acknowledged by the government to uplift the women of the society. For example, the Young Women Social Entrepreneurship Development Project is there. Now, to encourage the networking among the various organizations of women entrepreneurs, Federation of Indian Women Entrepreneurs is also there, which was founded in the year 1993. Apart from that, for the first time, India's 11th 5-year plan, that was from 2007 to 2012, recognized that women not only share citizenship rights with the male, but also they are an important contributor towards the economic and social development. Now, how can we empower the women of our country? We can empower the women of our country by upskilling them, providing them financial support, making them financially strong, and a comprehensive startup ecosystem where they are equally supported by their family, they are equally supported by the society and the country as a whole, and promoting entrepreneurship in the field of innovation. Now, sir, this coming on to the conclusion part, as we all know that social entrepreneurship is something which is gaining a lot of importance nowadays, but when we talk about the women social entrepreneurs, the numbers are really less. So through this paper, I have just tried to give the certain names of the women entrepreneurs, how they can be uplifted in the society. And these are certain references that I have taken for my research paper. That was it from my side, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Next one is Mr. Rahul Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Share your screen.
Is my screen is visible, sir?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Start and conclude your paper in 3 minutes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Respected all participant and dear friends, I am now talking about agro-waste industry. What is the challenges is in India? Agro-waste industry include process under which any primary products to agriculture and to primary products to finished goods. Then nowadays many types of problems comes in India agro-waste industry. That is the very types of significance: employment generation, double farming income, reduce food waste and malnutrition, boost trade and year foreign exchange, crop diversification. That is the importance of the agro-waste industry. And nowadays the food processing in India status of is India is the world's second largest producer of fruit and vegetable after China, but hardly 2% of produce is processed in a speed of a large production. Based the level of processing is low. Less than
I think you have lost the audio link.
Rahul ji, please unmute yourself and kindly go full screen. Rahul ji, please unmute yourself.
Not responding. राहुल जी अनम्यूट कर लीजिए खुद को. Rahul ji, we are not able to hear you. You can unmute yourself. Are you able to hear us, Rahul ji? आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है हमें. आपने म्यूट कर लिया, अनम्यूट कर लीजिए.
अनम्यूट कर लीजिए आप. राहुल जी आप अनम्यूट कीजिए.
Arjun ji, allow other participants to present.
Okay, we can go to the next participants.
Yes.
Devjana ji is waiting for quite some time. We can go to Devjani ji.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead,
Yes.
Devjani ji. I can see your screen. Yes.
Yeah, is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
No, this screen is from Rahul Kumar.
No, no, this is mine is rural urban migration in Uttarakhand.
Mr. Rahul, please stop your screen sharing. Mr. Rahul, stop your screen sharing. Allow others to present. Arjun ji, ask the Jani ma'am to present.
Shall I start, sir?
Yes, yes, continue.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Respected chairpersons, I am Devjani Sarkar, research scholars from SGRI University, Dehradun. So my research topic is rural urban migration in Uttarakhand, issues and policy implications. So I will move directly towards my objective. I have taken two objectives for my research, that is to study the reasons for migration from rural to urban regions, to analyze the reverse migration scenario during COVID-19, and last objective is to study the government policies to minimize migration problem. So as we all know that even before the commencement or formation of the Uttarakhand, migration problem is already there existing in this region because of the geographical diversification. So since the formation of Uttarakhand government is trying to minimize this problem with different kind of policy implications, and they have also established new departments, migration department, to help the migrating people to re-establish them to their local areas. So what I analyzed is the type. What is the type? Actually, there are many types of migrations, intra and inter. But in Uttarakhand, it is mainly internal in nature. That means which is within the district or within the state, and sometimes from hilly districts to the plain areas, because we know that there is unbalanced development in among these 13 districts of Uttarakhand due to these geographical constraints. So that is why the people from hilly districts, they are moving from their rural areas to the more developed areas like Dehradun districts and Udham Singh Nagar. They are well established industrial areas. Now, there are many researches which has been done till now regarding the problems or the reasons why they are moving from their native places. And among them, I have taken two papers. And as per their research, the main reasons for their migration is mainly education and employment and facilities. Facilities means health facilities. We can say education facilities. All these things are the reasons behind the migration. And one more paper also suggests the same, that due to the lack of proper employment opportunity, they are moving from their native places. And apart from that, medical facilities, proper education, infrastructure, especially development infrastructure like roads and all. Now we have developed a lot, but if you talk from the formation of the Uttarakhand, from very early time, it was a big problem. That is why they have migrated. But now we have improved a lot due to the different development schemes going on in the state. Now, what is the consequences of out migration? There I have taken two reports. According to census 211, there are almost 16,000 villages in the Uttarakhand, out of which 1,053 villages have no residents, which we named them as ghost villages, and 405 villages are there which have residents, but they are very much less, even less than 10. And that too, they are left with older people or women in that area. The next very latest RTI generated data, according to that data, it is said that in the previous 10 years, nearly 5 lakh individuals have migrated out of Uttarakhand. And that is also a very big concern for the government. Now, what happened during the COVID-19 in past 2-3 years, that during COVID-19 reverse migration happened. Now, number of migrants which are returned in the blocks in the first and second waves are very remarkable. But the main concern is how to retain them back in their native places. Because after some times, again, the same problems were there, still there. That is why they were forced to leave their places.
Mr. Devdani, conclude your paper within 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. But only 2 slides more. That's it. So, so the main that is why government again tried to minimize the reverse migration. What they did, they again implemented different kind of policies and schemes related to agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, and especially Manrega schemes have been generated more employment, so that the migrated people who came back to their native places can be retained back. Now the conclusion and suggestions. As the study, it has been seen that due to diverse geographical terrain, the hill areas are mostly affected. There are many factors like lack of proper income opportunities, education, health facilities, and low agricultural productivity lead to movement of laborers towards the plain areas. This situation transformed many villages into ghost villages, and suggestions are like government needs to focus more on the development of horticulture, animal husbandry, farming, tourism to check the migration of the people, especially for rural areas of the state. And they can also establish and upgrade more MSMEs, and strong marketing strategies should be adopted by the government to encourage the local made products in the global market, so that they can income more and more, so that they can generate more and more income. And last, interest-free loans, subsidies, affordable electricity rates can be implemented in the hospitality sectors, ecotourism, and micro enterprises, etc., so that they can get more opportunities in the hilly areas, and they can they can live their life according to them. And by this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next one, Trilokya Deka. Dr. Trilokya Deka.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'm.
Are you able to hear us?
Yes, sir. Just I am looking my this PPT.
Dr. Deka,
Yes, sir. PPT I am getting actually.
your PPT is not visible. Would you continue with reading your PPT?
Sir?
You start reading your PPT.
Yes, sir. Actually,
So start, introduce your topic and start your presentation
sir.
by topic. Okay.
We can see your screen. Are you trying to do it from your phone?
Hello?
Are you trying to share it from your phone?
Yes, sir. I am sharing from my phone actually.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it. You can just tell us the summary of it because screen देख नहीं पा रहे हैं, हमें दिख रहा है, लेकिन से वो गड़बड़ हो रहा है. आप summary बता दीजिए हमें 2-3 मिनट.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, actually, title of my presentation is that sustainable development, its journey, and how it is performing in the in our country and the state of Assam, and a little bit policy initiatives I have undertaken. And first, I am writing in my paper the meaning and definition part of sustainable development, because we know that Brundtland Commission, from starting from Brundtland Commission, the sustainable development concept is starting in the globe as well, and respectively we know that sustainable development goals are there, 17 sustainable goals are there, and all these are some policy initiatives, and the country as a whole and the state of Assam is trying to achieve the goals, those 17 goals. And in my paper, my objective is to find how these policy and its initiatives are working in the state of Assam, and what is the performances of achieving these goals in the state of Assam and the country as a whole. And for the purpose, I am taking data from secondary sources, and the methodology is empirical descriptive method I have undertaken. I am using a few tables, and graphical presentations are also there. And after that, I found that some of the states of the country, especially suppose Kerala, then Tamil Nadu, then Goa, then the three of the states from the northeast, Assam, Manipur, and Meghalaya, these states are working better, and these states especially achieving some of the positive results in achieving the sustainable development goals. And especially Assam is achieving the goal land, means life in the land, especially in that particular aspects. And Tamil Nadu is working for betterment of or for the removal of poverty in the state or in the country as well. And in that way, we are achieving the sustainable development goals. And as it is found from my paper that from different aspects, the country or the states or all the states are working to achieve the goals, and ultimately we are towards the finalization of our goals, and we have achieved a lot. And since we know that scientific innovations are the part of sustainable development goals, and all the innovations should work for the betterment of the people. And if scientific innovations adopt the sustainability nature of using resources, though which are very scarce in the in nature, so we'll be able to do a lot for the people, for the betterment of the people. So in that way, I have concluded my paper. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
thank you, Dr.
over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Is there anyone, Mr. Arjun? Is there anyone? who want to
Hello,
come
sir.
in? Is there anyone?
Hello, sir.
Alok ji, yes, go ahead.
My screen sharing option is not visible, sir. Can I present without sharing the screen?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
आप अपना वीडियो ऑन कर सकते हैं आलोक जी।
जी जी।
हाँ, ऐसे ही हमें समराइज कर दीजिए। Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, please summarize, Mr. Alok.
Good evening, everyone. So my topic is socio-economic condition and livelihood pattern of circular migrants and their interlinkages with different schemes. And my paper is based on a case study. So my introduction is circular migration from Bihar has always been a part of scholar interest, and it is led by the underdevelopment and extreme poverty in the state. So circular migration is also termed as short-term migration, cyclic migration, because it is reoccurring in the nature. This is called by the Zelensky in 1971. So my objective of the study is to analyze the socioeconomic condition of circular migrants, especially focusing on most vulnerable section of the region, which is scheduled caste, other backward caste, extremely backward caste, and Muslims. And to identify the livelihood pattern of circular migrants, to analyze the use of remittances, to know the profile of migration, and to do a critical analysis of the schemes which are operational in this area to prevent the number of circular migrants. So my study area is Purnia district, which is located at the northeastern part of Bihar. Why I've chosen the Purnia district and Bihar? So if you see the Bihar decadal population growth.
Alok, conclude your paper.
Okay, sir. So if you see the demography of Pune district, then there is a more number of scheduled caste, the more number of the Muslim population, and the least level of literacy rate in this district. So my methodology is I have taken the 202 household from two religion, Hindu and Muslim. And after that, I will also conclude in my study the key informant interviews and the interviewed by the bureaucrats like block development officer, Jivika project manager, and Manrega officer. I have done the caste-based analysis. So if you see the migration pattern, there is a certain pattern of migration within the caste. Like Maldar caste is migrated to the Assam and West Bengal to do foxnut cultivation in that agriculture field. And the Musar caste is migrated to the Punjab and Haryana agriculture field. And there is a certain pattern among the caste. I can better understand by the slide, but there is some problem. So the purpose of loan, the purpose of loan is mainly for the health purpose, because the vulnerability of health is more prominent in this area because of low literacy rate and some failure of government schemes. So if you see the remittances pattern, is more on the food.
Okay. Thank you, Alok. So this
Okay,
technical
sir.
session.
Just I'm concluding.
Presented.
Hello, sir. Sorry.
Presenters. Thanks to everybody for keeping patience till now. I once again thank you. Thank you.
I thank all the participants for showing so much of interest in participating in the conference. At the outset, I apologize for the delay in starting the session. My special thanks to IMPRI team and Mr. Arjun, New Delhi, and the technical team here at Gaya College who made the smooth and uninterrupted online presentation possible. Thank you so much. I also thank all the patient listeners for giving so much of time to us and participating in this online session. Thank you. With this, I close the